Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm pretty excited to share this story with you guys. It's a small step in the right direction for our government officials in charging these white supremacist terrorists with actual terrorism. So lately, as you guys notice, with the epidemic of mass shootings and these white supremacist attacks on Black people, they never get charged with the terrorist act that they inflicted, and they're usually called mental ill, labeled with a mental illness and given minimum time for their discretions. So finally, probably a lot of you have heard about this case with the white supremacist terrorists traveling to Baltimore. Actually, I'm going to pull it up just to make sure I get it correctly. But so here it is. It says, if we truly want to be safe, we need to start calling violent white supremacists terrorists. And this is something that I've been saying since I started this channel, and even before. I've been expressing that these white supremacists are terrorists and just really crying out and asking why aren't they being labeled terrorists. Clearly American, the mainstream media, they don't want to call these people terrorists because it doesn't fit their narrative. If the person does not have brown skin, they don't want to equate them with terrorists and terrorist actions. And truly, that's what these people are. So finally, one of these criminals, one of these terrorists are actually being charged as terrorists, which they should have been. So I'm very, very excited for this. And I hope that we see this a lot now. I really think this sets a good precedent that this demon right here, he's a terrorist. And this is just a tiny bitty start, and I hope they don't let him plead down, which, I really think that they will. But let me talk to you, read a little bit of the story to you guys. It says, this week something unique happened. A white supremacist was charged with terrorism. Why am I so happy about this? I'm so happy about this. Unfortunately, acts like this are rarely called out for what it truly and rightfully are. They must be if we want to keep America safe. Truly, this is like, it's just what I've been saying. Like, we're not going to be safe until we start prosecuting these white supremacist terrorists as what they are. Any KKK group, any white supremacist group, these skinheads, these neo-Nazi wannabes, they really need to be charged as terrorists. They need to be locked up in Guantanamo Bay, throw away the key, and we should never hear from them again. Unfortunately, I really don't feel like that's what's going to happen, but let's just see how this plays out. Hopefully, we can set a precedent with this dude, and hopefully he will be punished to the fullest extent of the law. Too often, terrorism labels are reserved for those to be thought to be Muslim or anyone with brown skin, while others suspected of equally heinous crimes tend to be deemed mentally ill. Thankfully, New York pursued accurate charges against James Harris Jackson, a 28-year-old white U.S. Army veteran who had reportedly traveled from Baltimore to New York for one single purpose: to kill Black men. Okay, if that is not a hate crime and a terrorist attack, I don't know what is. He's telling you he's not mentally ill. I planned this out. And this is the thing. This has been a trend. These white supremacists like Dylan Roof, they tried to say, oh, he's mentally ill. He straight up got up and said, no, I'm not mentally ill. I planned this out. This is what I wanted to do, and this is what I did. And still, he was labeled as mentally ill. So I don't know. I'm really glad that we're setting this precedent, and we're saying that no, this is an act of terrorism, um, and let's call it what it is. One of the things that I wanted to say is this is putting, when we let this go, when we let these white supremacist terrorists go around with their mass shootings and killings, they're not only killing black people. Okay, so all of America is in danger when we're allowing this to go on. Let's continue. Okay, why did Jackson hate black men? He stated in his interview after his arrest that he was angered by interracial relationships because he saw it, as he saw it, black men were putting white girls on the wrong path. Yeah, because the black guys are really just looking for these white girls. Please, you don't need to look for a white girl. They're all around. They want black men, and that's just how it is. Jackson, who authorities say is a member of the white supremacist groups, add that the white race is being eroded. Okay, that's not our problem. The white race shouldn't really be in America anyway. If white people stayed in Europe where they belonged in the first place, they would not have to be in fear of being eroded or being made a minority or just dying off. That has, first, them dying off has nothing to do with interracial relationships, but whatever. Okay, just say whatever you want to. Then it says right here, too often terrorism labels are reserved for those thought to be Muslim, while others suspected of equally heinous crimes tend to be deemed mentally ill. And not others. They need to just call it, really just be straight and blunt and call it what it is. If you are a white man in America and you go on a mass shooting, or you kill all your parents and your family, or you kill your neighbors, they automatically slap this mental disorder. Even before you go to court. I mean, we heard that case with the I think I can't remember exactly what it was, but the girl that planned to shoot up a school, and her father turned her in, but before he turned her in, he made sure that she wasn't going to get in any trouble. So even though she had planned to the T to shoot up a school, she had the guns, she had the ammo, she had explosive, everything. She wrote out a plan. Before, she didn't even go to jail. They took her straight to a hospital to get a mental evaluation. They were already saying she's mentally ill, even though none of these people had the education or the ability to diagnose any kind of mental illness. But that's what they like to do. They like to say, oh, they're just mentally ill. No, they're vicious terrorist criminals, and they need to be treated as so. Having arrived in New York, Jackson randomly chose 66-year-old African American. Notice he found an old person. You're gonna go find a grandpa, a senior citizen. You're a coward, and that's just how it is. He wasn't gonna. Why isn't he looking for one of these thugs or gangsters? Like, seriously? Anyways, Timothy Kaufman, African American Timothy Kaufman, and then reportedly stabbed him to death. Worse, police say Jackson viewed the murder of Kaufman as practice prior to going to Times Square to kill additional black men. The response by elected officials in New York to thus deem that Jackson be charged as a terrorist should be commended. It should be. I do commend these officials for labeling this guy what he is, which is a terrorist. But I also must admit that I never expected this to happen. After all, Dylan Roof had brutally murdered 9 African Americans in 2015 at a South Carolina church, but was not slapped as a terrorist, slapped with terrorism charges. He wasn't. He was given some Burger King and told what a good job he did, and that was that. The New York County District Attorney's Cyrus R. Vance Jr. took a stand that other prosecutors should follow. When the grand jury indicted Jackson on terrorism charges, Vance explained bluntly in a statement Monday that Jackson had prowled the streets of New York for 3 days in search of a black man to assassinate in order to launch his campaign of terrorism. So he 3 days it took him to find a senior citizen that was weak enough for him to attack because he's a coward. These white supremacists are some of the biggest cowards. They're disgusting. They're terrorists. And honestly, if it was me, I would have dragged him out in the public streets and executed him as an example. That's what should have been done, but let's just take what we can get. Why does it matter that someone like Jackson is charged with terrorism? Simple. It makes us safer. It really does. If they really want to make the street safe, they need to start these stop and frisk and stop these white men, considering they are the terrorists. They're the ones with the guns. They're the one that's doing the mass shootings, and yet we want to harass black men and act like they're the one that's causing all the trouble. We want to always scream, "Oh, Chicago, Chicago," with the gangsters. Well, here's your thugs right here. Dylan Roof is a thug. He's a disgusting white supremacist thug terrorist that should be dead right now, but unfortunately isn't. I don't understand why he's still alive. That angers me, but whatever. That's why charging people like Dylan Roof with only a hate crime is not significant. It's not. It's not sufficient. It's not sufficient at all. And neither conveys the seriousness of the crime, nor does it make the bigger point that terrorism can be committed by a person who doesn't have a foreign sounding name or brown skin. See something, say something must apply to all suspicious behavior, not just Muslims. There is no white person exception for terrorism, and we've made it a point to show that there is a white person exception to terrorism. We've made that stance over and over and over and over again. America has made itself very vulnerable when it comes to white terrorism because we let it go with the past so often that it's a free-for-all. They made it a free-for-all, and that's why we're seeing hundreds of mass shootings per year done by these white terrorists, because we've constantly given them a pass, and we're showing all the other white supremacists that, oh, go ahead, go on mass shootings, you can do whatever you want to. Most of them don't even get charged with a hate crime. Honestly, they don't. So this is a very great step to where we should be. This is a good start. It really is, and I'm really proud of that prosecutor and that grand jury for saying, you know what, we're going to set a precedent and we're going to take a stand. No more white terrorism. No more pass. If you're a terrorist, you're going to get charged with terrorism. Let's see where this goes. We really need to follow this story and see where it goes. Furthermore, if media and law enforcement label all terrorism as terrorism, all terrorism should be labeled as terrorist. Thank you. It opens up the possibility that those who witness radicalization before an official attack happens will speak up and say something, so that we don't have another Chapel Hill shooting where innocent Muslims' lives are lost. And that's what happens. Someone's knocking at my door, but anyways, so this happens so often that these white supremacist terrorists get away and they get a pass because of their white skin. And I'm really, really happy that this precedent is being set, and it's saying just because you have white skin does not mean you get a pass, does not mean you get to continuously be terrorist, and we keep giving you passes, because it does leave America vulnerable. It leaves us very vulnerable, considering this is the face of terrorism. And I don't understand why it took this long. Okay, this is the face of domestic terrorism. It's not Muslims. It's not black people in Chicago. It's these disgusting white supremacist terrorists like Dylan Roof and then this other coward terrorist that decides to go find a senior citizen to attack. Thank you so much to District Attorney Cyrus R. Vance Jr. Thank you. You did America a great favor. He really just made us a little bit safer by calling these white supremacist terrorists what they are, which is terrorists. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about this story. I really want to follow this story and see if they fall through on this, if they really follow through and push all the way and charge this person with terrorism, because he really should be charged as one. Thank you for watching this. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for everyone that supported me in donating on Pinterest. My biggest thing is I really just hope that you guys can share these stories, that we can get them out there, and the majority of Black people jump on the bandwagon and really start seeing reality for what it is. We really need to band together. Our togetherness is honestly, Black people, when we get together, we will end terrorism, but it really is gonna take us to do it. But thank you so much for watching this. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share these videos. Thank you so much. Bye.